Recording started.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's snowing here in Iowa today, so quite a bit difference for me. Last week I was in Southern California, so Jenny stepped in for me and did a great job on Autism Mate. Today we're going to talk about two apps from Crick software that are similar to their clicker tools, and that's Clicker Sentence and Clicker Docs. If you're familiar, I'm going to open up Clicker Sentences. If you're familiar with Clicker 6, these are kind of scaled down versions of the Clicker software to work specifically on your iPad. Clicker Sentences is the one we're looking at first. This really is an early writing tool that kind of helps emergent, struggling writers build sentences using whole words. Again, this is put out by Crick Software. This one retails for $20.99, and basically what it allows us to do is it gives us the capability for a student to type a sentence, to copy a sentence, to use these boxes down at the bottom here to enter words into a sentence, and then listen to that sentence played back so they can hear where they made mistakes. There's a crucial audio component to this as well. So again, looking at this, it looks very similar to your Clicker 6 tools. At the bottom, so we've got our word processor up top. Down here we've got our grids, and we can set up these grids in several different ways. The first way, which we have up here, is we have a grid where we have a sentence that we want the student to model. So because we can set these up differently, means that we can differentiate it for different students. So we've got the sentence right there on the screen that we want the student to write. So basically what they need to do is copy this sentence at this point. So if they want to listen to it, they can tap on the sentence.
Our class took a trip to the zoo.
And it'll play that back out loud. And now what they need to do is go through and type in using these boxes down here the words for the sentence. So if we went through and tapped, our class took a trip to the zoo, and then once we hit the period,
our class took a trip to the zoo,
it's going to read that and highlight it back to us so that we can kind of see that that's, or we can hear that that's what our sentence was supposed to be. Now I'm going to just, as you can see across the bottom here, there's little dots that indicates how many grids we have. So I'm going to take on that grid, I'm going to slide my finger to the left across the screen, and it's going to change grids, and it's going to give us another grid here that has several words to it. So with this particular grid, you notice we don't have the sentence up at the top. But you can see over on the far left side of the grid, there's something new that wasn't there before, and that's a little eye, an eyeball. So what this does, so what we can do with this one is we can have a pop-up version of the sentence. So if we're helping transition our students into being able to write something that they've seen but not that's right in front of them, we can hit that little eyeball, and it's going to pop up what we want it to say. We can listen to it by tapping on it if we want.
I saw lots of animals.
But now we can't write our sentence until we close out of that. So we see there's a little green X over here. We have to tap on that before we can tap on anything down here. You can see those are grayed out. So I'm going to hit that green X, and now we have the ability to write. We can hit I saw lots of animals, period.
I saw lots of animals.
And it's going to read that back to us, and we're good to go there. So that's another way that we have to set up these little grids. I'm going to swipe to the left again. And here's another way that we can create these grids. This one does not have, if you look here, we don't have the little eyeball. What we have is a speaker instead this time. So again, if we're differentiating or transitioning kids being able to write even maybe what they've heard, we could have this just read the sentence, and then we have to manipulate our boxes down here to set up how we want that played back.
My favorite animals were.
So now we just have to be able to write or be able to copy that by listening. So we could say my favorite animals were, and then I'm going to slide one more page over here. We're going to see we have several different animal options in this area. So now in this area, this doesn't have anything attached to it. This has no samples attached to it. It doesn't have a pop-up, doesn't have an audio, doesn't have the sample right on the grid, but it's got several animal names. And so what we can do here is we can actually utilize some of these other tools that you see right here. This blue button, if we tap that, you're going to see it's going to raise up. When it raises up, that means whatever we tap next it's going to read that out loud to us. So if we maybe didn't know what this word was here,
penguins,
we could listen to it, and then as soon as we tap a word, it's going to bounce back down. And so now if I select a button again, it's actually going to type that out for us. It's not going to read it. So to have the box read back out loud, we have to tap on the blue thing first. So I can say penguins, I know that's tigers and lions, and then I look at this and I say, but wait, I didn't put any commas in there, and I want to put commas in. So I want to delete these last two words maybe. That little red box right here, this deletes by word. So we can take out a word that we added in here. This orange box, that is the enter key. It'll enter it down one spot on our screen. It'll go down to the next line for us. And this tab over here, this green tab, is for an on-screen keyboard. So if we wanted to write something that we didn't see on our screen, I think we do have a comma here. So let me add penguins back, comma. Maybe we wanted to type, I don't know, I've got several animals in there, but maybe we wanted to type, maybe I wanted to type lions myself. I can tap the green thing, a keyboard pops up, and I can type in lions here. The same thing operates here with the blue button. If we tap that, the next letter we tap, it reads that letter out loud for us. So we've got that audio component here. Now, this is very similar. Oops, we got rid of our grid. I apologize. Let's bring that back and switch back to the grid. I believe you have to just hit that green key again, and now we're back to the grid that we had before. So so one of the other differences between Clicker and this is we cannot put pictures directly into the word boxes. We can put one picture on the side over here. We have that of the lion. If we tap on that, it's going to add that into our document. It doesn't have any words associated with it. It just adds the picture. But we can't put those pictures in each of these individual boxes there. Let me show you real quick just how easy it is to set something up here in Clicker Sentences. If you go up to the very top corner and hit this grid with the pencil on it, that gives us our grid editing here. So when you pull that up, what you can see is along this side is where we would add our grids. We would just hit add, and then we can name it. Up top here is where we'd add either our sentence or our words. So you can see I put a whole bunch of words in here just by tapping and editing, and I'll even add one more. I can't even think of what animal I don't have in there, but we'll say cows. Do I not have bears? I'll put bears. So I'll type bears. Okay, that's too many words. Only 12 will be shown, so I can't add any more. We'll get rid of panthers then, so you can see that change. And we'll put bears in instead. And now, when you hit the drop down, you should see down at my bottom, I actually have bears twice because I added bears and I already had it on there. So we can get up to 12 words with that. You can see here is where you choose how you want the sentence to pop up. I'm going to change this to one that has a sentence. We'll go to our class took a trip to the zoo. And now you can, so this will allow me to change it pretty easily for you. If I choose none, you're going to see it wipes out that sentence at the bottom. If I choose on the grid, if you look down here, we should see our sentence appear. If I choose in pop-up, we're going to see that sentence go away, but we're going to see that little green eye pop up there. And if I choose spoken, we're going to have that little speaker pop up there. We can also choose how we want our words to show up. We could have them alphabetical, random, in sentence order, or in guided order. And with guided order, what that means, if I turn that on, you can see just the first word in the sentence is highlighted. The rest of them are all grayed out. So if I went to use that, then I would have to, it would only allow me to choose the correct word at that point. So again, that allows for a lot of differentiated use with this from students that may be struggling quite a bit, and we can start moving them on up to improve their writing here. If you see here, you can change colors of the background of the app. Here's where you can add a picture, and you can either take a picture with your camera by tapping that button, or you can bring in a picture that's been saved on your iPad by tapping that button, and that'll take you right to your camera roll. So on your camera roll, you can save anything off the internet, and you can plug that in then to your picture there as well. But that's the only spot on the grid that we can add a picture. So very simple to create. If we hit go, it's going to take us right back into our document here with our grid. Pretty easy to create. Let me show you the settings on this. If we look at our wrench up here and I tap on this wrench, it's going to show us with appearance. We can change the document font. The Sassoon CR is supposed to be a font that's more kid-friendly. We can change the size, the document background, the text color. If I go back to settings, I can also choose within the speech a different voice. There's Heather. There's also Rachel and Tyler. They have different accents to them. Rachel, obviously British, Tyler, Australian. You can change the highlighting color. You can have it speak each word every time it enters or each sentence. With accessibility, we have swipe grids turned on. That allows me to take my finger and swipe across to change the grid. If you turn on show touches, what this is going to do is now wherever I tap on the screen, you're going to see that yellow dot to help you indicate where you're tapping. I'm going to turn that back off for now. On the other side of the top screen here, we've got this little paper thing here. If we tap on that, that allows us to create a new document, email a document, or print a document. If we hit the star, that's going to show us our favorites. I haven't added anything as a favorite, but if I hit recents, it shows up everything that we've used recently. And then if we hit the file folder, what that takes us to is all of our files that we have in here. The examples are built in. I created the zoo examples folder. We're using a document right now. But if you look over here, we can pull in things from Dropbox or Learning Grids. If I hit Learning Grids, that's going to connect us to the Learning Grids website where we can download some of these apps for free. We do have to have an email and password to log into this. It doesn't cost you anything. I do have one, but I'm not going to plug that in right now. But you can go and download grids to be used in your clicker sentences here. So that's clicker sentences. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. It can be real effective for kids that struggle with writing. I'm going to go ahead in a second here. I'm going to pull up Clicker Docs. If you have any questions on clicker sentences, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to dive in and we're going to take a look at Clicker Docs here, which is a little bit different. And I'm kind of start laying out what Clicker Docs is. So Clicker Docs is going to work a little bit differently. Clicker Docs is more aimed at some of those older students that might be struggling with just certain words or struggling with writing, but not at the level where they need the support that's available in clicker sentences. It's more like maybe the word bars or the write online of Crick software here. This one retails for $25.99. I believe at one point in time, clicker sentences may have been the same, so maybe this will go on sale. I could be wrong on that one, but $25.99 is what you get for clicker documents here. So the way clicker documents works is it's a writing tool. You can see if we have when we have our keyboard pulled up, if I start writing, we'll put in here today is Tuesday. I can start typing TO, and we get across here, we get word prediction that's working. Now this word prediction is supposed to work as both with with figuring out what you're trying to write based on correct spelling, but also the creative spelling option that we see in several other predictive tools. We've got over here that same button to have it read back out loud. So if I'm looking here and I'm not quite sure what word I want, I can come over here and tap on that blue guy. That's going to read the next thing I tap on, so I can tap on the first word of my prediction. It says today. That's what I want. I'm going to tap today. It's going to add that into my document for me. If I keep going here, today is, you can see my word prediction starting to change every time I type a letter. And hopefully we get to something that I can choose here. It doesn't want to guess Monday, so we will put Monday in there and then hit space. And you can see if I put a period in here, it should be set to
today is Monday.
Even though it's not Monday, it's set to read that and highlight it back out loud, how we add things in there. Now I want to show you something else too. So It has also what they consider a talking spell check within here. So if I go through and I start typing something, I'm going to spell giraffe, J-I-R-A-F. And it's not guessing that in the word prediction. But when I hit space, you're going to see it's going to indicate that that's incorrect with a red squiggly line. And it's supposed to, let me make sure I have my settings set here. It's supposed to give me an option for fixing that, and it was doing that yesterday. The spell checker is on, so I should be good to go. Let's try a different word. That actually did correct for me yesterday when I made a mistake, but let's try spelling Monday a little bit differently. Let's say M-O-N-D-A-I, and then we'll hit space. Now, oh, you know what? I'm sorry, we'll go back and do our giraffe because I made a mistake here. Let me show you how we spell check. So we have giraffe spelled incorrectly, underlined in red. Now if I go and tap on that word, there we go. It's going to give me the spell check list here. It's going to give me giraffe spelled properly. So I can check that by tapping the blue and listening.
Giraffe.
That's what I want. I'll tap it again and it's going to replace that in the document. So I do have the ability to have a talking spell check along with this. So now you may have seen this when we started this up. One of the benefits here to the clicker documents is if we hit that green button over here that looks like a keyboard, it's going to flip the keyboard between a word bar and a keyboard. So as I'm typing, maybe I want to write something about assistive technology, but I don't know how to spell assistive. I can tap on the green button and somebody's created a word bar for me that's got assistive technology related words. Right now it's set on writing words. We also have reading words and general words. So if I tap on general or slide to the left, it's going to go to the general words. And I could be here and I want to write about assistive technology. I see the word assistive. I recognize it when I see it. I recognize the word technology and I can start writing. Then I could go back and finish out a sentence, maybe say is helpful.
Assistive technology is helpful.
So we've got that component of the grid to allow us to create kind of a word bar that can help students maybe that may struggle with certain words. And here you see my grid is general, and then I have a grid on writing tools, or writing words for writing in assistive technology. And then I have a grid on reading words in assistive technology. You'll see when this grid is up, it's got very similar things to clicker sentences. We can have the enter button and the backspace button there as well. Let me take you into if we go and hit on the button up here to edit our document or edit our grid, you can kind of see how this works. We type in the words that we want in the grid content area here. We can choose if we want them alphabetic by rows, alphabetic by column, random, or fixed. And we can name the grid right here. And here's what the general grid would look like. We can change the colors here as well. And that's all you need to do to create a grid. Now, the downside of this is I guess you're not copying and pasting whole papers into here like you might in a Clicker 6 kind of word bar. But it does give you the option to create these things fairly easily. If I go back to Go now here, and we look at our settings within this, within the appearance, we can change again, same thing we could change in clicker sentences. For speech, we can change the same things that we changed there, although we can have it read each letter with this because we are going to be assuming that people are going to be typing by letter. We can set up our predictor. Within the predictor, we can have it show the prediction, use sounds like, predict the next word. We can change the number of words that are available there. I mean, I think 5 or 6 is pretty ideal, so I wouldn't change that. We can turn our spell checker on and off, and then we have the same options in accessibility with swiping the grids and show touches. Over here on the far side, same deal with that paper. It shows us we can set up a new document, an email document, and print the document. We can have our favorites or our most recently used grids there. And over in the file folder, just like before, we can see the tools that we're using, or we can pull up the Learning Grids site and have access to some free word bars that are in there. So it's a little bit more intensive in terms of creating these tools. We'll just go back into the creating piece than it would be in Clicker 6. It's a little easier to make these in Clicker 6, but this is a great advancement for the iPad, giving us the ability to help students in a creation mode. It's nice to see that there's tools starting to move in that direction, and I think these are well worth it in terms of writing tools for students that might be using the iPad. That's really all I have for you on Clicker documents and Clicker sentences. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to take those. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up for today, and we'll look ahead to next week where we're going to be talking about App Writer US. So I appreciate you coming by today. Hope you learned something. And again, as always, if you have any questions outside of this session, feel free to email me at james-stachowiak@uiowa.edu. Thanks, and have a great afternoon, everybody.